All right, everybody. It's Saturday morning. I'm going to give y'all a final on this old 1970 Chevelle 454 SS, better known as Melba Toast. If y'all don't know what movie this came from, you better be getting out your old DVDs or your VHSs and be watching this movie. This come off of the movie called Dazed and Confused. And many of you, if you grew up in this era, that's kind of an epiphany of, what we kind of lived. We lived for good times. We also lived just for our cars and just had a blast during the mid 70s. So am I one of the products of that generation? Yes, I am, and I'm proud of it. So when King Bob decided we wanted to host a group build for the movie Dazed Confused, there was a lot of cars, just beautiful cars that come out during that era. And this was one of them. This is the car that Matthew McConaughey drove, better known as Wooderson. And we all kind of knew a Wooderson somewhere in our life if we went to school during that period. But the car, man, it was just, I fell in love with the car. I fell in love with the movie when I first saw it because, I grew up during that era. But there was a lot of the cars that I grew up with, locally. I know several fellas that had 1970 Chevelle SS's. And man, I tell you what, this is one of them that Wooderson had, and I'm sure that this was probably the first in the movie. It was probably the first car that he bought when he graduated. Paid some good money for it back then, and I'm sure it's well worth the money that you would spend on it today. But this is enough talking about the movie. This is the Revell heavy Chevy kit that I've had for a while. When King Bob said that he wanted to host this, I was just like, this is the first car that came to mind. There was other cars in the movie that that came to my mind as far as the, let's say we had the 70 Chevelle, we had a 70, I think there was a 70 Trans Am in there. They had a Duster, they had old pickup trucks, had Volkswagens. If I remember correctly, there was a lot of cars that was in that movie that I really liked. But this one came to mind. I was just like, well, and the GTO, can't forget about the GTO. But when Bob and I started talking about this, we decided this was a car I decided I wanted to build. But the kit, there's a couple of 1970 Chevelle SS kits out there. This is the Revell Monogram heavy Chevy kit. The other car, I think there's and I'm out here in the garage looking around right now. There is a AMT kit. Tit for tat, which one would have been the best, would have been this one right here. I've built this particular kit before, and my mirror decides it wants to stop turning today. As we come on around, if you want to, just look over into the into this right here, as far as the engine itself. It is just, it's not box stock, but this is what I wanted to build as far as, we put steel braided, we put the Protect hoses on there, we wired it. But we did a lot of detail painting over in the engine compartment itself. As far as paint on this, it's not the best. It has its flaws. If you look at it long enough, you'll find some flaws. The bare metal foil fought me on this. This is another, I said that I was going to build it as a box stock, but I was like, nah, I'm going to go a little bit more. This is what you would call in a model show box stock plus. So we just kind of did a lot of detail painting on the interior up underneath it. The stripes, as far as the deck stripes and the hood stripes, those were, I tried the decals in there, but they disintegrated. This is an old kit. As soon as I started applying them, they started tearing, and I was just like, I will just paint them on. So once I got the black shot, we went back over the black, taped off the stripes and everything, and this is the result that we got right here. But it's just, I sprayed it with Tamiya black, I forget what X number it was, but we sprayed it black out of the airbrush. We did the stripes with the Tamiya bottle paint out of the airbrush. And this is the result that you get. If you take your time with a lot of your builds, just in detail painting, just, cutting, buffing your paint, bare metal foil. Again, I was talking earlier about the bare metal foil. This stuff fought me tooth and nail. This car has a lot of bare metal foil, especially around the rain gutters, the windows, as far as the front and rear windows. Just had little ornate pieces around the fender wells, around the right below the A-pillars, going up onto the fenders, across the back of the hood, things like that. But that is stuff that makes it makes a build, it makes a build pop. Another thing that we did right here, and I'm gonna I'll point it out right here with my X-Acto. As far as the badging, we did bare metal foil over that before we even started painting, and we got that in. Then we primed over it, painted the base color as far as black, and then cleared over that. And we took a small Tamiya Q-tip with a pointed end, doused that in lacquer thinner, and we scrubbed the paint off of the top of that SS 454. That popped right out, and really looks good once you've done it. But if you look close enough, I mean, there's some deficiencies in the bare metal foil that I'm not very proud of. I probably will never bring this one to a model show. This one's going to sit on my shelf probably for the rest of its life. But I'm proud to have a box stock Chevelle 454 sitting on my shelf. This is just one that has kind of eluded me over the years of wanting to build a box stock. My mirror stops again. But we did another little thing beyond box stock with the exhaust. I took some just what I call creative liberties and did a set of exhaust tips coming off, kind of did them in a slant or a baloney cut, or they call. That way it just looks a lot more, instead of, just a tip of a piece of bare metal, bare metal, but a piece of bare styrene, just sticking out there. I just wasn't going to cut it with me. But as we come on around, we'll keep bringing this thing around. I'll try to not take you off of the shaky cam a little bit, where you can get a little bit more look in there in the engine detail as far as what we did. But there's down in there. Sorry I had to use a toothpick to hold this hood up. But we'll come on around. We detailed just painted the battery, the air conditioning box back there, master cylinder, and the water catch overflow right there. So it really, taking your time with the detailing, detail painting. Let's take this prop rod out and let this hood close. Get this, let's see if I can get that. There we go. We'll get that thing set down, make that hood set down a little bit more, and we'll give y'all a little look-see, let it spin around with that hood closed. Turned out to be a really great model. I really had fun building this one. Interior, we just went with a base flat black, and I think it was like a dove gray Tamiya. I always like to do the two-tone seats in a lot of my cars. Did Wooderson's have it? I don't know. There was never any interior shots of the car, so I took creative liberties on doing that with this build here. So, but man, I tell you what, man, all right. I can't do that enough. Just a great character that Matthew McConaughey portrayed in Dazed and Confused. But really want to say thank you to King Bob. Took a lot of inspiration from watching him build the ones that he's built so far. And a little bit of poking as far as King Bob. When we was at Acme during October, he was like, "Pappy, you need to get the building." I was like, "I know, buddy." I said, "I'm sorry, but we'll get one started." And sure enough, as soon as I got home, that was when I made the decision to go ahead and start getting this one laid out and getting it ready for to get started building. So this is kind of the first one that's come off of the bench other than the other 67 Chevelle. This is actually the second one that I've built since my hobby room is back into a normal state of building there. So, but there she is, Melba Toast, better known as. And Y'all let me know what you think about it. And I appreciate everybody that's been subscribing. Appreciate all the comments and stuff on all of our videos, especially on the new model car podcast, as far as the model car enthusiast, scale model enthusiast that I am a part of with Mr. Lucas C., Mr. Matt himself, and Irvin Arter, and all the other guys that are joining in with us. It's really, really fun to do these podcasts for y'all. So if y'all got any questions or anything you want to ask about this build or any of my other builds, feel free. Appreciate all my subscribers again. And as I always say, folks, if you can dream it, build it. God bless y'all. Pappy out of here.